Good evening, or good morning, or good afternoon, wherever you may be. I'm Clyde, PT, and well, today is just kind of a Friday hangout. I didn't announce this, so nobody knows I'm doing it. So I'm curious to see if anybody's going to show up. So today, what do we want to talk about today? I think I'll give it a minute before I talk about anything substantial. I'm doing a test on the CR10S right now, and I'm curious to see how that goes. So we'll move the camera over there in a minute so you can see that. This is one of the filament spools for the samples that I have that I got from Earth this year. So I'm going to like to make some maker coins. This maker coin I will have video on soon. I was trying to do a time lapse video with it, and unfortunately, I didn't get all of it because for some reason OBS stopped recording. So I'm not exactly sure what's going on with that. Still trying to figure out the whole time lapse thing. I'm not sure if OBS actually supports time lapse. I know that in Premiere I can do compression to, kind of make it faster or appear fast, but let's see, what else did I discover? Oh, I shot 4K video with my cell phone over at Earth, and after I had pulled the video off and rendered it or encoded it, whatever you want to call it, I ended up with audio not syncing properly with the video. I opted to publish the videos anyway, and I think that I figured out it's because my phone recorded it in 4K and I did not realize that, which really doesn't make a whole lot of difference with the whole YouTube thing and where it's going right now. So I could have done it in 1080 and it probably would have been just fine. So live and learn. Didn't want to waste the footage, and I'm still learning how to do all the back end stuff for video editing. So the idea with today was just that I happened to be here to get the spool going. For anybody that went to Earth, they were handing out the samples of Magigoo, and I actually just treated my mirror tile build plate on my CR10S with that. And well, I don't have any complaints. The particular filament spool that I'm printing right now is, let me take a look here. I have a file. Let me see, because I'm trying to remember the name of the person that actually published this. This one was, I believe, was found on Thingiverse. Shane from Fugatech. I do have another spool of the filament that I'm going to set up. I did not use that one just yet. He's actually got a couple of them that he mentioned in some of his videos, and I will be doing that next. This one I already had queued up, and I don't like failing. And my initial run of this print job did fail because the honeycomb portion that it has just was not adhering to the bed properly. That's my fault. That glass tile had been cleaned, but I didn't clean it properly, and then I didn't apply a proper layer of adhesion for it to stick to. I shouldn't need to do that, really. I mean, glass tile, the mirror tiles are usually pretty good. I've done many prints without using any adhesive before, but it just seems like some of the filaments that I get just really don't want to perform all that well. And it could be temperature related. It could proximity to the nozzle. I'm not smashing the layer enough on the first try. There's a whole lot of things, but it's also white filament, and I tend to have more difficulties with the white filament. I think I tend to run it a little cooler than I should, and I think that's probably a big part of it. But with the same settings that I had, and in putting a layer of Magigoo on there, and no other settings, it's sticking to the bed plate like crazy. So that's a good thing. This particular model is the sample spool by Helder Santos, I guess, or sample spool. It says by Helder Santos. I'd have to look up and see when I downloaded it, but that's the one that I'm doing right now. This is gonna be a really quick stream. Experimenting with some of that. Is it CC3D gold filament? This was about $30 a roll on Amazon and did not perform awesome at 40% infill on this particular, on my test. It did save a little bit on the weight, not by much. I don't have my scale, so I can't tell you by how much. This one was done at 60%, and the final layer looks much better. The 40% on this one, the layer just, it's got a spot next to the 3. It just doesn't look quite complete. I've also got an orange one, but I do not have it on me. It's actually in the car because that's the one I took to Earth with me. So for a couple minutes, why don't I show you the CR10S print. All right, it just started the second part. I'm gonna move you a little closer, bump the camera around lots for you so you get nice and seasick. But the part I was referring to is this right here. I wasn't getting a very good adhesion. Right now it looks like the bed's actually not close enough, but I'm gonna leave it. I think that the other layers are gonna help fill that in, because these are, well, that one's actually really close. It looks like I could have stepped kind of down a little bit on that side of the bed. But it's sticking. So I may have a little bit of over extrusion on this corner. I mean, I'm still dialing this thing in, so I'll just turn that down just a tiny bit. I don't want to over extrude too much if I can avoid it. But yeah, if you look down on this layer, which I can't see what I'm looking at here, but if you look down right there, the camera resolution is not the best, and I apologize for that. Let me see if I can get you a little closer so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. All right, so if you're looking right down at this thing, which probably not, let's see if I can do that. There you go. You can see gaps between the filament, or between the layers right here where the honeycomb is. That it's either I'm not hot enough on the hot end with the white filament, or the bed's just a little bit too low. I tend to think that I'm probably running a little bit under temperature for this filament. It's rated up to 210 degrees, but for some reason, this filament handles differently in the Bowden, like on the CR10S, than it does on an Olsen block. So I was opting to go with the kind of the actually the operating temperature for what the filament suggests. But on this printer, I should probably be running this at 215 degrees all the way before I adjust the bed any further. But we'll see how the other one comes out. Again, I'm not an expert. I'm just telling you what what I've experienced so far. So let's bring you back over here. Because it's so much more interesting looking at the green screen than it is to be, looking at me, right? So anyway, that is that. I have some other stuff too. Also, if anybody happens to see my missing bottle or missing box of Boohoo glue sticks, you just let me know, because I can't find it. This place is a mess. I need to clean it up again. So this is a Raspberry Pi 3B Plus that I purchased a little while ago. And I'm really looking forward to this because there's a lot of different things that I can do with it. I opted to get the little kit thingy, which I guess now I can actually look down and you can see this. But this was a kit that I bought on Amazon. And it has information card on, looks like resistors. It also has a, where you can download the software. It came with a touchpad, ribbon cable, little micro servos, at least one of them. Battery harness, 3 volt, I think. Yeah, 3 volt. Let's see, LEDs, and there's a momentary switch, well, a couple momentary switches in there, resistors. Let's see, more LEDs and button covers, I'm guessing. Oh, yep, there's some buttons in there. Oh, let's see. Came with these little pins. Oh, let's see what else it came with. It's got all this stuff on the board already, which I'm sure doesn't need to be there. But I don't know if I can pull this out. Okay, I can't pull it out right now. These are jammed in there. I don't feel like really doing it. Here, I'll just tilt it up. So you can see it's got the breadboard in there, or the project board, whatever you want to call that. And lots of cool stuff, LED lights, the little digital thingies, and it's got a display board, thumbs, whatever you call these, thumb control. Oh, it's got a stepper motor in there. So, I mean, this thing is loaded with stuff. Motion sensor. Looks like there's a couple of pots in there. Is this an ultrasonic sensor, or? I don't know. I think this is an ultrasonic sensor. I don't know for sure. See? Oh, let's see what else. Lots of wires to plug into my breadboard. Little, looks like DC motor. Let's see. Ooh, 9 volt adapter. And these are the pots I was telling you about, or the attenuator knobs. So those could be fun. Oh, what's in here? What is this? This is another, I don't know. It's a board with lights on it. So anyway, I'm hoping to be able to do something with these at some point. This is definitely not my strong suit, but I figure if I'm going to be building and designing a 3D printer, I probably ought to familiarize myself with the basics of Arduino and, playing with Raspberry Pi programming and all that. So again, just kind of a hobby thing to do. All right, so we got a couple more minutes left before I get off here. I just kind of wanted to, I don't know, pop in for consistency's sake. So, I'm doing at least 1 or 2 live streams a week. That's kind of the desire. I know this isn't really substantial. There's not really a whole lot going on right now. I'm trying to shoot the video for the filament that I bought at IRF, the samples. Thought that would be kind of fun to do. Oh, let's see. I'm looking forward to the glow-in-the-dark stuff. I know my son really wants that, but I'm not sure. I mean, there's not a whole lot of filament. I have enough to do one of my maker coins, but I mean, there's not really a whole ton of filament in that. Okay, I'm not going to close that all the way because I'm going to break it. Oh, so what else? Oh, if I could appeal to anybody that wants to do this, I had some, let me pull this window open real quick so I can look, so I make sure to give credit where credit is due. I did a shout out on Twitter the other day asking for a little assistance with a design project I've got. I'm trying to learn 3D, or sorry, not 3D Studio, 3D Studio. Yeah, there you go. Fusion 360, and it's a slow process. There's a lot to learn with it. I'm trying to make time to do that, but you know how that goes. You get busy, you run out of time. Jack Richards from Applegate did offer, to hook me up with some designers. It'll probably cost me, but I suppose that's something I can also do. I have to do some sketches. The project I'm working on right now is the vintage street light. It's going to be about 6 to 8 feet tall. It's going to be completely 3D printed, and I would like to get as much assistance as possible with it, just to make sure that it comes off nice. If I don't get any help, it's not a big deal. I'll do it myself, but I figured I would ask if anybody wanted to contact me with, their smarts and abilities. But anyway, so this is just a quick update video. So I really have nothing else to add. So I want to thank you for tuning in for this brief stream, and I will see you guys next time. So keep innovating and keep creating. And like I said before, never give up.